look at me. What about me would make you think that I care about your opinion of me? Your opinion of me is not the opinion that I have of myself. You ain't make me, so you can't break me. You didn't build me, so you can't kill me. You know what? God established me. So you ain't nothing you could do to me. I've been him. I've been a difference maker, a game changer. I've been that guy. So what would change? Not a darn thing. I'm not even playing the game, and you got an opinion of me. I'm not even on the field. But I love it, but I don't care. And I wish the world thought like that. Youngsters, if you're out there right now, do not give a darn what opinion people have of you, long as that opinion is not consistent of that of yourself. You be you. I'm not planning to make you feel good about me. I already feel good about me. I'm good. Message for the youngsters out there and the old school, not old fools.
What's up? What's up? What's up? We back again. We back again for that cold summer podcast.
It's gonna be a cold summer.
We back once again, man. First day of the week. First day of the week for me getting on the live stream. And man, I'm planning on doing about 2 more shows this week. So we're trying to do about 3 a week now, man. So I love being inside of this is the quick studio. This is the home studio. So I plan to get back to the office sometime this week, maybe one time. But got a lot of good things, man, planned for today's live stream. Got a lot of great things planned for today's live stream. And it should be entertaining. It's be entertaining. Let me make sure I got that set up. I got some takes. I got some things I want to get off my chest, like a bench press, like I say. Some topics, right? I want to talk about the UAW. Something that I mentioned about a month ago that happened, or not that, what happened on the live stream, right? Because a lot of great things happen on the Cold Summer podcast live. You know what I'm saying? We're going to bring this back up because they finally brought it up in the news. What? So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the UAW just in general and also what we mentioned on the live stream that I think is very, very important, right? Very, very important. It was brought up on another channel that I watch, and I thought it was pretty funny because I already said something about this. We're also going to talk about, what else we're going to talk about? We'll talk about Tyrese, right? Tyrese Gibson. Talk about Tyrese Gibson because, he's the hot topic of the week, man. We got to talk about his ex-wife, what she said, but then we're also going to play Tyrese's response right after that. All right, we're going to play Tyrese's response right after and put it all into perspective, right?
Sensational.
Because that's what makes sense, right? And we're going to also talk, I seen something too, something about a first date list. There's some type of first date approval list going out there, like, first dates that to not go on. So there's a list out there of places not to go to on your first date. We got to go through that list on the Cold Summer podcast because we really got to see if this is legit or not, right? And then I think we'll end it off with, who else we got up in here? First date, UAW, Samantha Lee. Yeah. So we'll just end it off with that. Make sure I got my setup right. We got Samantha Lee, got some Tyrese, the first date, and then we got UAW. So yeah, man, some quick little show we got. Get into it. I do want to make a quick announcement here. And the announcement that I want to make is I am about to be on step 2 of monetization through YouTube, right? What that means is you got to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. I have surpassed 1,000 subscribers. All right. And we are approaching 4,000 watch hours. I am literally 40 hours away from being monetized. And the last video that I just put out has gotten already, since yesterday, over 100 watch hours. So when I wake up tomorrow, I should be on step 2 of YouTube monetization. And what does that mean? That just means that I'm going to start getting ads put on the channel, man. I'm going to start getting paid from YouTube. And that just really means I'm going to start turning up the notch a little bit more when it comes to the videos. All right. That's all that really means. Let me get that set up right there. That's all that really means, right? That doesn't mean I'm going to go ahead and sit back and say I'm getting paid. No, that means the work ethic turns up a little bit more. So let's get that going. All right. So let's get into the intro and then let's get into the show, right? What's going on, everybody out there in YouTube world, YouTube land? I am Real Estate Jay, and
It's gonna be a cold summer.
welcome to the Cold Summer Podcast, live, baby, live stream, not the videos. We live. So a lot of things go down on the Cold Summer Podcast. We turn up the topics a little bit. Things may go on a little bit of like a different track, but that's because it's live, baby. And we take it to wherever it needs to go. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we go do. That's what we do here on the Cold Summer Podcast. And then we talk about the popular topics, and we just talk about some other things that just need to be addressed, right? One thing that I did talk about, you know what? I want to bring something up, man, because I didn't even add this to my my lineup, my live stream lineup. But I want to mention something, and it was a short that I put out, and I really want to talk about it, man, because I really meant this, and I was actually able to capture this inside of a short. And let me see. I think this is it right here. No, this is it right here. So let me go ahead and get to here. Make sure we good to go. Oh, my whole thing is messed up, huh? Secondary display. I want to share this, man, because it's about these relationship gurus, and I'm just really getting tired of them. All right, so let's play this one. But see, Derek Jackson go tell you a bunch of stuff you think. What? I've been married right now for almost 7 years. I will not tell you how to go find a wife. I'll tell you a little bit about married life, but that's my married life experience. What? This is not yours. I will not be up here trying to tell you this is how you need to be in a relationship, successful relationship. Listen, I'm trying to figure this out every day. Facts. What? So I've been married right now. Why am I bringing this up, right? And again, this is just kind of off the cuff. I literally just wanted to pivot in this direction. Man, I'm seeing so many relationship, advice just flying around the internet. And I've been watching it for a while, right? For a while, I wasn't making these type of videos on YouTube, which is like just about current events. I was just making real estate videos. But I'm so tired, man, because the whole entire time I was seeing bad advice flying after bad advice about so many things that men were saying about how to be in a relationship. And then you got women telling men how to be masculine. And it's one of the most oddest things that I have seen on the internet. And people validate people because of their followers. And it's just you got Derek to me that they're having. They're sleeping in airports. Oh, no, I do. I also made another reel that just said, like, you can't validate the followers. Like, your followers don't validate your information. And it's just weird, man. Like, we get these relationship gurus who have, 100,000 followers or 200,000 followers, and we automatically think that they are going to be right? And they're so influential, we got to listen to them. And these people are giving out horrible advice. I mean, horrible advice. So, it's just, I don't know, man. I'm getting to a point where I'm getting really fed up with them because they're everywhere now. And people are monetizing off of this stuff too, by the way. People are creating businesses. They're becoming dating coaches or having these dating programs. They have dating courses like Fresh and Fit. Like, I'm not here to get on YouTube to try to like create beefs with people and do all this type of stuff, but I am here just to be real. But like Fresh and Fit, although the platform is huge and you can't, just take that away from someone, anyone that can grow a platform to 1 million subs or past that is impressive. But at the end of the day, the advice that they were giving out was absolutely horrible. Right? And it just shows you how delusional that we are in this world. We just believe anything from anybody if it sounds believable, right? We don't even put facts behind stuff no more. If someone's charismatic, we just listen to them. But these people are lying to you straight to your face about dating, about relationships. And then we are living in this world of failed relationship after failed relationships, right? We're living in this divorce friendly world, but we're listening to people tell us about how we should be in a relationship and how the woman should be. And they have no qualification to tell you anything. Why do we listen to people like that? Why are we not listening to the people that have been married for 30 and 40 years only? What? Only. Why are we just like, yeah, this person looks nice. They've got, 700,000 followers and they're giving out relationship advice. I guess I'll listen to them. And they're out here giving horrible advice. We got to stop that. Like, we have to understand that just because information comes across the screen does not mean that it's right. Just because it feels right to you and it fits what your narrative is doesn't mean that it's right. Again, we're in this divorce-friendly world and we try to figure out why relationships are so horrible. Well, we listening to people that aren't qualified. Why are we listening to people that aren't qualified? You're listening to a single man trying to tell you how to find a wife. Like Fresh and Fit, I just point them out because these were two young men that just caught success very early in their YouTube career. I think it spoiled them a little bit. And they grew an audience, but they were giving out bad advice. That's like some of the advice was generic and okay, but most of the advice was really bad. It was really bad. Derek Jackson, horrible. Chris Perry, from what I'm hearing, it's like, nah, bro, I'm not really rocking with everything you're saying. I'm very, very cautious of these, I'm going to call them women-centric men. They're just so focused around like women messages and making sure the woman's always right. And but then they're the man who appears to be perfect in all aspects, which is weird to me. Because if you're going to talk about men, then you're talking about yourself. But anyways, I digress. What? I digress. This is what happens on the Cold Summer Podcast. See, this was not even on my live stream lineup. And I just decided to go this way. All right. All right. Well, make sure y'all hit the like button on the way inside here because, like I said, the Cold Summer Podcast live is growing. And I love doing these shows for y'all. So all I ask is for just a little bit of interaction. Just a little interaction with your boy. Just let me know that y'all out there. All right. So, let's get into this UAW. So let me go ahead and cancel this out. Let's get up here to this screen and let's cancel this out. And I want to get to something real quick before I get to this news message right here. Okay. I just want to play something that I did. This was back on September. Let's look at the date, right? I just want y'all to see. September 27th was when I made this happen. Maybe y'all go to this screen. 1 second. I'm going to go to this screen so y'all can see. Right? I don't think you can see there. But I made this live on September 27th, okay? And I was talking about the UAW, and I started to wonder, how much does Sean Fain actually make, right? Because I was very, very curious to see how much he makes. Okay, here we go. September 27th, I got it highlighted down here at the bottom. And I was like, well, how much does Sean Fain make? And I was actually wrong on here. He makes $208,000, right? We're going to find that out from the news station. But we got to get into it. We are going to get into Mr. Sean Fain. And the reason why I want to get into Sean Fain right here, right? Listen, I understand what was going on here with the UAW and the strikes. I do. I really, really do. And you also got to remember, I'm looking at this from an economy standpoint. So the longer we have this thing going out, the worse that it becomes for the consumer. But I also understand that the workers are saying, hey, we need raises, we need cost of living, we need a lot of these things. I got you, right? So there's a crossroad here. But here's where people are not looking at. And here's where I'm not going to be fooled. And here's where I don't want y'all to be fooled at. Sean Fain. Sean Fain is nothing but another politician, man. He reminds me of another politician. And let's get into it. I made this on September 27th. Let's talk about it real quick. I'll play a few, and then we're going to play the news station and get all the way into it and put this in perspective. $141,000. Allowances, $8,100. Allowances. Official business, $6,800. So he gets paid $140,000 a year. What? That's quite a bit of money. Which he actually gets paid $208,000. So this is not right. But I was trying to find something that shows me, what does a UAW president make? Quite a bit of money for you to be the UAW president, collecting all them dues. All right, cool. So I just wanted to show y'all that, so y'all just know that I'm not just up here trying to make up a new story or heard something somewhere else and be like, see, I said this on September 27th. Now, if we go here, let me switch my screen. This is just released, I believe, yesterday, right? A day ago. All right, so let's go ahead and switch to big screen. Now, this says October 23rd, which was yesterday. Let's see what they're talking about. And now let's break this thing down, okay? 1, 2, 3.
All right, UAW President Shawn Fain joined about 6,800 union members in Sterling Heights as they walked off the job today at Stellantis' largest factory, the factory that produces Dodge Ram pickup trucks. Big seller, of course, for the company, their most profitable vehicle, we should also mention. Today's move comes after Fain reported Friday that there had been some progress in talks with General Motors and Stellantis, but they still have not gone far enough with their offers.
Yeah, and meanwhile, as a strike...
I want to stop it right here. Don't get mad at me. I don't want y'all hitting me and killing me, right? So we do have offers coming out from the automakers, okay? So at least the automakers aren't like just asking UAW, okay, let me hear your counter and let's sit on it, right? So the automakers are saying, hey, this is what we got, right? And they're constantly sending out offers. I believe this might be, and this is maybe where I might be wrong, but I think this is offer number 3 or 2. I know they've done 2. So I feel like the first one, the UAW put out their demands, and then maybe they put out 2 other ones, right? A 21% increase, and I think this one's like 26 or 25, whatever. They've thrown out some offers, and the UAW is basically saying, no, this is where we're standing. So the automakers are trying to make something happen here. Okay, we all are in a standing there, right? We all understand that the automakers are trying to create a deal. Got it. Let's get to the next part of this.
Strike continues. Is fatigue setting in for union workers? Well, Shawn Lee joins us live. And Shawn, I understand you talked to Shawn Fain about that exact issue.
We did. Let's talk about the big picture here. Ram trucks, as Devin mentioned, wildly popular here. Production on these stopping today with this strike. They're not going to be delivered in a few days. Obviously, suppliers not supplying because workers are out here now on strike. This took the company basically by surprise. They're saying they're outraged by today's walkout. This is day 1, though, for these workers on the picket line. What about the other workers who have been out a month, a week, and a day? And what about that fatigue that we are hearing is setting in with some?
Striking's tough, it's not easy, but, we had to do what we had to do.
Sources confirming that UAW President Shawn Fain is not on $500 a week strike pay because the UAW Constitution states Fain gets his $208,000 a year salary per those union rules. As now more.
All right, we gonna stop the video right there. Let's go back. Let's get to it in full effect. No sound effects. Let's hear what they said.
Constitution states Fain gets his Fain is not on.
Do what we have to do.
Sources confirming that UAW President Shawn Fain is not on $500 a week strike pay because the UAW Constitution states Fain gets his $208,000 a year salary per those union rules. As now more UAW workers are sent out to the picket lines.
All right, we're going to stop it right there. And we're going to pull up my thumbnail that I got for him right here. So Shawn Fain makes $208,000. And the workers are making $500 a week. So, according to the UAW Constitution, which I don't know what that means, right? But I do know when they start using language like this just means you can't do nothing about it. And so you mean to tell me, I'm heating up now, right? It's cold summer, but I'm about to heat up real quick. You mean to tell me this man's out here making $208,000 on the picket line with people that are making $500, and you got the nerve to talk about company greed on these video releases that you're doing every week. Company greed, and you're making $208,000. Newsflash, Sean Fain. How many people at any of these big three make over $200,000? Right? What tax bracket would they be in? Like, what positions will they be holding if they're making over $200,000? Oh, we not gonna talk about it? No, we are gonna talk about it, because every time I keep seeing him, I'm like, this is political stunts. He made a video on the same live stream that I just showed y'all that I made on September 27th. He was talking about company greed and how these companies are greedy and how billionaires shouldn't exist. All this crazy mess. And when I heard it, I was like, this don't sound right. It just sounds like a movie. It sounds like he's faking. And he 100% is faking it. He's coming on these streams. He's giving y'all updates. I'm not saying the man's not working, y'all. I'm not saying he's not working. But he's making a hell of a lot of money to be a UAW president. And then he shows up to the picking line with people making $500 a week. He isn't taking a pay cut at all. He's not taking a cut at all, because he's got to feed his family as well. But people making $500 a week are struggling to pay their bills. They are getting out payday loans right now. They are taking out payday loans in order to survive, right? Credit unions are creating loans for them so that they can have some money. Sean Fain ain't taking no pay cut, right? Shout out to my man Randy. He says that's why they don't want to settle, because they won't get funding for themselves. Those are the worst kind of loan. Yeah, the payday loans are horrible. Yes. So he says that's why they don't want to settle, because they won't get funding for themselves. Now, I think that there has to be a middle ground here. Has to be a middle ground here, because the people cannot sustain this particular blow. Right? One person said in one of these news stories, he said this is financial suicide or financial bankruptcy or something like that. Where I want to go with this is not so much the UAW, it's Sean Fain. I mean, because like I said, he's considered he's a UAW president, so he would be considered some type of like high level in the UAW. But he's up here spewing this message to people that are on the picket lines and all through the UAW or the auto workers, that I'm with you and we're this and that. But man, hold on. You're corporate. You're making big money. You're making the big bucks. We down here making $500 a week. We barely can feed our family. At this point, when they made this news clip, the people on the picket line should slowly be turning their eyes and being like, Sean Fain, you one of them. And that's how I feel. I feel like, Sean Fain, you're just one of them, right? You get paid a hell of a lot to be a UAW president. And I'm sure them dudes kick in quickly. And don't think that he's not taking some type of kickbacks. No, we ain't even gonna talk about all that and all the type of illegal activity that probably go in on that. Sean Fain ain't missing a beat, y'all. He is not missing a beat. But guess what? Families are missing their meals. They figuring out what they got to do to make some money. And they have to attend these strikes to get strike pay. They are better off going to go create a side business or doing something on the side than waiting for $500 a week. And here's the worst part. That's before taxes. Before taxes. They might be left with $300. Forget that. I'm gone. I'm done. I forget that. I'm done. Right? Yeah, y'all want to try to recoup on the back end, but it may be so late. It might be too late before you can recoup on the back end. You probably would be in so much debt because of that on the back end. Your mortgage is still due. Your car note is still due. Bills still coming in every single month for your utilities. You got to live off $500 a week? And my man Sean Fain is making $208,000 a year? What? Interesting. So that's where I wanted to go with this, because I made the story last week and I literally pivoted during the live stream, and I just asked myself, I said, well, how much does he make? And it said at the time, it said 100 and some thousand. That was off. He makes 208,000. Now that doesn't mention anything else that he might get, right? Bonuses or whatever else. But I'm telling y'all, he's one of them. When I say one of them, he's one of the corporate guys. He's one of the corporate guys in disguise trying to put on this act for people at the auto workers. Like, yeah, corporate greed. We want them to pay us this and that. But you're part of corporate greed, Mr. Sean Fain. What? But here's the thing, right? And this is how you finesse people. Y'all want to know how y'all finesse people one-on-one? Right? Kind of what I said in the beginning of my live stream. You become a charismatic person, right? You become likable, right? And you say the nice things that make the majority of the people on your side. And you stick with that, even though your agenda is different. So this is what he's doing. But he's not fooling me, because I'm like, messages don't seem genuine. I know he's making some good money. This was before I knew he made 208,000. And wouldn't 208,000, 200-something thousand, doesn't that fall below like 10% of wealthy people in America? Doesn't that fall within like the 10%, something like that, maybe 250 or so? Let's just say he gets bonuses and all this other stuff. Let's say he makes somewhere up there in the 220s. He's in the good percentage of Americans that are wealthy. The auto workers are making just, I don't know, they probably make 100. Maybe some of them make 100. Some of them don't. I'm not being finessed by another man that just walks around and tries to tell me what sounds right. But when you look and see how he's actually getting and what he's living like, totally different. Totally different. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But what I'm saying here is y'all just got to pay attention, man, because even though they got these titles and they seem nice and they seem like they're for you, be very careful. He just reminds me of another politician. He just reminds me of another politician. That's all. That's all. That's all I get from him is, oh, all right, I'm going to go ahead and finesse these people. I'm going to get this job. I'm going to make this money. I'm going to go on these picket lines. Okay, the news station's going to be here, so I'm going to show up. So the news station's there. I'm there. And then I'm going to dip out like Joe Biden did. Right? Where's Joe Biden at? What? Right? Joe Biden came here last month. Where's Joe Biden at? Why? He should be helping y'all with this negotiation. Right? I know y'all gonna probably try to hit me with the economics thing. Well, you can't just do that and you can't just buy him out, blah, blah, blah. But I'm saying if he had the nerve to show up to the UAW strike and Sean Fain is making $208,000, why don't Mr. Joe Biden be able to help with this negotiation so that other families don't starve and have to go and file bankruptcy and take out payday loans? Where you at, Joe Biden? You're for the people. Where you at, man? Save the country. Save the people that have important jobs, which are down here working for the big three. You need to be involved. Put your hand in there somewhere. See, this is where when I'm taking with Sean Fain, I'm saying I'm not being finessed by people that say these messages online, but they're doing something different. I won't be surprised if they come out with something about Sean Fain moments after they do this negotiation and they get what they want and they say he's a crook or something. I won't be surprised. But when Joe Biden came down here, he did all that. That was a political stunt. That was a political move. He came down here, probably was down here less than 5-6 hours, and then he left, went home. But what did that mean for us? Nothing. All right? So that's what I got to say about that, man. Love to hear y'all comments. Hear what y'all got to say about that. But that's kind of where I'm at with Sean Fain, man. I'm very reserved on Sean Fain. I want to see exactly how this is going to turn out. But the automakers are giving out offers. They're giving out offers. So it's a difference if they were holding back, but they're telling you they can't go to a certain amount. And he keeps saying, well, we're going to keep pushing because they made this amount of money. I wonder why he's pushing so hard. What? Y'all think he's pushing that hard for y'all? Partly. Y'all don't think he's pushing that hard for his UAW members and himself? Y'all don't think so? Y'all don't think that when they do a new negotiation or a new contract that there's some type of real benefit for the president for making that negotiation happen? Y'all think it's some type of little kickback or incentive for making if he gets a certain percentage increase going on? Just pay attention. I'm just saying, just pay attention, right? I wouldn't be surprised, and if I was working for the big three, I'm going to tell y'all this, I would be pissed. What? I would be pissed dealing with this because this ain't nothing but politics that we playing right here. Let's be real, y'all. This ain't nothing but politics being played right here. See, we think that, they want to get us the most money possible, this and that. No. What? This is politics, y'all. This is all about who's going to make the most money. And I believe the UAW is going to benefit a lot from it. From what I've been told, when you go and work for the big three, like your first paycheck is literally dues are coming out like that. It's almost like taxes. So they're going to benefit off the top, right? Shout out to my man B-Mac, a.k.a. the mod and the sponsor of the show. Oh, yeah, for sure there's an incentive in his contracts. I agree. I mean, I ain't even got to look at it all the way, but I know that there's some type of, I can't call them kickbacks, but there's, like you said, there's some type of incentive coming back to him for getting like probably a certain percentage increase. That's probably why he's pushing for like 40%, why he's pushing so high. I don't know, man. This is why I got this podcast, because I got to be able to share with y'all. I'm just not being fooled by this man, right? Just to bring y'all up on the skinny, he makes $208,000. And the auto workers are out there getting $500 a week before taxes. What? So that means they're not getting $500 total. And he's coming out on the picket lines probably for what? Less than an hour, 2 hours. Going back to his office, but he's making all that money. All that money. Right? Shout out to Roro. She says, of course they will. She says, yes, a percentage comes out of the member's check. Yep. So it's almost like Uncle Sam. It's almost like Uncle Sam and then Nephew Sam. Right? That's how I look at the UAW. It's like the Nephew Sam. They're going to take their little part out already. So you know they go benefit. They're automatically going to benefit from this. I don't know. I just feel like he's a politician. I think this whole thing right here, this whole contract is politics. I do believe that they do deserve an increase. I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all they don't.
Sensational.
They deserve an increase. They working their tails off. They dedicating their lives here. They missing out on family events. They 100% need an increase. But the real question is, this increase that they have been given twice, is it reasonable? And people are on the picket line saying that this is enough is enough. We're ready to move forward. These people are ready to get back to work. They don't want to sit out there and it's getting cold, making $500 a week. They said, forget all this, man. Let's just get back to work. Just make a deal happen. Let's get back to work. See, the thing is, you want a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush, right? That's the saying, right? So it's almost like, all right, if we can get 21, maybe 23, can we sign that and get back on the road? But here's the economic part of it. What? Now, we've talked about the contract. We talked about Sean Fain. And we talked about how I think he's just another politician. And I ain't going to call him a crook yet, but I'm going to definitely call him a politician. And I think I don't think he's being genuine, but I think he definitely trying to make this happen. He might have pressure on his back. But here's the real problem. The economic part of this. Now, see, that's where it hits us. No matter what class that you're in, that hits us, right? We want to go out and buy a car. Cars are a little bit more. That affects us. Right? Maintenance, parts, right? You got a car right now. They don't make parts for them or something like that, or parts are slow because they're on strike. That affects us. Also, UAW members are also people that have money that also control other sectors, such as, hey, man, I need to go get a haircut. Barber gets paid. Hey, man, I got to pay my bills, right? Electricity company gets paid. Utilities. Hey, man, I just want to go out on leisure. I want to go downtown Detroit, and other benefits. Other businesses benefit from them making money. So it's an entire spectrum that gets affected if they aren't back working. And that's an economic part of it. And we already are hitting, we're getting hit with so many economic hits already, right? Before we get replaced by robots. Yep. We talked about this already on the Cold Summer podcast, right? We've already talked about it on the Cold Summer podcast. We've already mentioned it. And I believe this is where it's going, right? We've talked about Tesla. We see their business model. They're sitting back like this, man. Tesla's sitting back like, look at this. Y'all see this? Y'all see them over there fighting? Look what we don't got to deal with. And guess what? We still making cars. Robots don't stop, baby. What? They got Diddy on their side. Robots don't stop. Robots don't stop. Robots don't stop. Because they going to keep working. And see, they don't got to deal with this stuff right here. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. From an economic standpoint, I just don't like it because I think it will affect us. It will affect us some way, somehow. Like, it may not affect us on the working side, but the economic side, it will. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Even for me as a realtor, right? If I got somebody that's an auto worker, they might be looking to buy a house. They might be looking to sell a house and buy another home, right? Or they might be in a situation where they need to hurry up and sell, but they don't have any money as far as on the market. Now I don't get that piece of business. Now, as an investor, that's a different story. You know, you got the right solution, you can come in and help them, but it'll be an unfortunate situation that they have to lose their house. So let's get through the rest of this, man. But I definitely wanted to stop it on that because I just think that we are not paying attention to Shawn Fain for real. We letting him say his thing. We letting him hype everybody up. We letting him say all this stuff. But I'm looking like, something ain't right. My radar is like, ding, 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 ding. Something ain't right with him. And I'm not letting it off the hook. And then I'm like, I think I might have found it. I said, he ain't nothing but a politician. He benefits from all of this, right? Shout out to my man B-Mac. He says, I think it's crazy that the workers are saying enough is enough, but they're still keeping at it. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I kind of was like, you know, enough. Yeah, because I heard the one guy from the Wayne plant, say enough is enough. There was another news station that played it, and they were like, yeah, we're ready to get back to work. And yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I would be like, hey, man, I got to get me another job, or like, I'm not going on this. Like, $500 a week is not a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say you got in bills, let's say you got $2,500 or $3,000 worth of bills coming in every single month, right? You're making $500 times 4 is $2,000, and that's before taxes. I mean, what you could be making, like $1,500 maybe? I'm like, yeah, man, I would just have to find me another job or something, man. It's not enough. Or I got to figure out a way to do a side hustle or get out there and you know, you already know what's out there, right? Shit, you know, DoorDash, Uber Eats, you know what I'm saying? Get on Uber, you know what I'm saying? I would figure out a way to make more than $500 a week. And before taxes. And these people ready to go back to work. These people ready to go back to work. They ready to go back to work. They don't want to be sitting on no picket line. Picking up a picket, you know what I'm saying? Like Shawn Fain showed up to the Stellantis dealership. Showed up to the Stellantis plant. We're out there handing out their little picket signs and stuff. I'm like, man, this ain't nothing but a big old publicity stunt. We need you to be working on this. Where's Joe Biden at? What? He came here last month. Why don't y'all work together, tag team, and figure this junk out? You know what I'm saying? Roro says, I believe the way it works is they have to have masses vote and agree to end the strike. But the UAW have empowered too many to believe they are worth what they're fighting for. And that's it, right? It's like propaganda, right? So if they push this enough, they get enough people behind them and rally behind them, then they have a group. And I think that's what these messages are for, man. Like when I hear Shawn Fain talk, I'm like, man, this is like mob talk, bro. He's like, this is like aggressive talk, you know what I'm saying? Figure this out or else. I'm like, man, this is just really, really aggressive talking. Like this ain't even negotiation. Like that's like some mob negotiation, man. Sign here or your brains on the contract type thing. Like, and so he does these things every Friday, and it seems like he's just kind of spewing and throwing out I don't know, man, just real inciting messages, right? Inciting. Like it just seems like it's just, and then everyone's like, yeah, corporate greed, blah, blah, blah. And they're saying the same talking points, but I'm like, he's a part of corporate greed, y'all. He's completely a part of corporate greed. He's making a lot of money for himself, right? It's leadership position that allows the people to feel in control. Yeah. It's just that. So let me get through this. I know I said I was going to get through this a few times, but let's get through it right now.
Today, a surprise strike at the Stellantis assembly plant in Sterling Heights. 6,800 workers who make the Ram truck here are now off the job. For them, this is day one of their strike, catching Stellantis by surprise, catching employees by surprise.
10 o'clock, I just sat down for lunch.
10 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, our phone started going off. I checked on my phone. It said, Shap is going on strike. Pick up your stuff, walk out peacefully.
What was your immediate reaction?
Excitement.
Excitement?
Yeah, we were excited.
But for 1 month.
What? You were excited? I wouldn't be excited to be losing out on no money. I'm not excited to lose out on no money. What? All right. Maybe I'm tripping.
1 week and 1 day, other UAW members have been on those picket lines. Workers in the cold and rain outside of the GM Pontiac Redistribution Center Friday. They were hoping for Fain to announce a deal or news that a deal could be coming. But they were told to stay out and stay strong. Many looked deflated. In the past.
Yo, what does that sound like? That sound like some mandatory overtime type stuff. No, y'all stay out there and y'all keep striking. Y'all keep making $500 before taxes. Y'all stay at it. Even though they don't want to.
As a strike meant all members were in it together. Targeted strikes this time is causing strike fatigue, says labor and employment attorney Brett Miller.
Now there's this disproportionate burden of some employees have had to, bear more of this, be out longer. And there's definitely some grumbling that we've heard from the rank and file on how that's working.
Shawn Fain is a guy that I can get behind, and I support him 100%, even if we're out here until Christmas.
What?
Till Christmas? Bro, do you know where we in? We are in October. It's about to be Halloween, bro. We ain't even got to Thanksgiving. Stuff be closing real early on Thanksgiving. Like that whole November stuff be closing, nothing be open. You talking about going till Christmas? Oh man, he crazy. What? Hey, he by himself. Hey, I'm like, hey, I'll be like that one guy that be ordering drinks at the bar, but he be like, hey, put it on his tab. I'm gonna get 20 bottles of Patron, put it on Jay-Z's tab. I'll be looking at him like, I ain't about to be out here to no Christmas. You crazy? Bro. What? Out here till Christmas. You on your own, bro. You day one. You in here. This is your first day on the job, bucko. You know what I'm saying? Type stuff. Listen, I'm not about to be out here longer than about 2 days, and I'm out of here. I don't know what you thinking, but I'm not about to be out here till no Christmas. I could have found a new job and been in a better position come Christmas. What you mean I'm going to be out here till Christmas? Are you out your rabbit ass mind? Are you out your rabbit ass mind, bro? You really think it get cold in November? Right? The nips be rock hard by the time Christmas come, depending on what kind of winter we gonna have. You want us to be out here with gloves and hard nips? Nah, not me. What? Not me. Not me, bro. Here, bro. Have my $500 before taxes. I'm about to go ahead and get up out of here and figure out me another way to make me some money. I could make me $1,000 a week if I need to. What in the world is going on? This man is crazy. He didn't took the strike to a whole new level. He didn't took the strike to a whole new level, man. He said, I'm gonna strike till Christmas. My man is crazy. He that guy from The Angel. What's he talking about? Django. Are we riding or what? Are we riding or what? What? He said, heck, you know, bro. No, I'm He by himself on that one, bro. Ain't no way I'm gonna be doing that. But I'm sorry I had to laugh. I had to get a little laugh out of that. But this is first day striking. So he don't understand it, man. By the end of the week, they're gonna be done because they gotta come out there every day. And do they gotta strike for their entire shift, or is it just like a couple hours they gotta strike? Like, how does that work? You know what I'm saying? Because if they gotta strike for their entire work shift, like a 12-hour work shift, man, that's fucking horrible. Like, that's horrible if they got to do that, because that's way too much, And then I think they're talking about trying to raise the strike pay, but what do you raise the strike pay to? What do you actually raise it to? I mean, because if you're making, I don't know, let's just say, I don't know. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Let's just say you make $1,000, or let's say you make $2,000 a week. I mean, do you go and strike for $1,000? Like, you're still losing money. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it from the worker standpoint. I don't like it from an economy standpoint. And then also from the political standpoint. I think the political standpoint is the reason why a lot of these guys were able to hold out, because the UAW ain't taking no cuts. We just watched the video. They said in their constitution. What constitution? What kind of rules y'all make? See, that ain't nothing but political talk right there. Letting you know that, hey, this is what we agreed to in our organization, but you guys keep striking because that's the contract that y'all signed.
Sensational.
I don't know. Y'all tell me. If I'm crazy or not, but this just ain't working. All right. Let me get off this and we on to the next video.
Christmas, according to some of the employees we're talking to here. I asked Stellantis for comment on today's walkout. They said they were outraged. Part of the statement they sent me, the UAW's continued disturbing strategy, they say, of wounding the Detroit Three will have long-lasting consequences with every decision to strike. Kimberly and Devin, the UAW, Stellantis says, sacrifices domestic market share to non-union companies. We're live tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4, back to you.
Okay, Sean, thanks.
Live tonight, Sean, non-union companies. We're live tonight. Stellantis says sacrifices domestic market share to non-union companies. We're live tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4, back to you.
Okay, Sean, thanks for the...
See, and see, they think that these people playing. This is just like from Friday. You think Smokey playing about his money? This is exactly what the Big Three is telling you. They're trying to tell you that there's consequences behind doing this stuff that the UAW is doing. They're not playing. You think he playing about his money? They not playing. They trying to tell you that this is going to have some effects on the economy. UAW doesn't care because there's a benefit to them. I'm just saying. I already said it. I'm going to get off of it. I know. I'm just out here rambling. I'm just saying. I just think that there's a little bit more going on here than just fighting for a contract. I think there's a lot of benefits here for the UAW to keep this going, and so that they can get a certain contract so that they can live even better. But hey, who am I, man? I'm just another guy on YouTube talking this mess. Alrighty. I don't know if y'all can really see this, but we're going to talk about this group of ladies make a list of places men shouldn't take on their first date. Oh, let me get y'all to the big screen so y'all can actually see what these places may be. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, there we go. That way y'all get a good glimpse of what's going on here. All right. So let's read some of these places that we should, as men, should not take women on. First date, no. So, Cheesecake Factory happens to be number one. What? So we know that somebody just made this particular list as of last week, right? So Applebee's, we got chili, we got Chipotle. What you mean you don't like Chipotle? I eat Chipotle every week. All right, I got a problem. I'd rather not eat the worst food, but I'm eating Chipotle every week. Chipotle, Chipotle is not really a date spot though. It's more of like a lunch spot, but it's a lunch date. The movies. What the hell y'all going in? What? Y'all women can't be serious, bro. So y'all don't want to go to the movies. You don't want to go to your house.
Sensational.
Well, first date at your house is kind of, I mean, I don't know. That's a little fast, a little quick. I mean, that's a Netflix and chill type of date. So you ain't really going nowhere with that one. Buffalo Wild Wings is not a bad first date. Wingstop, I would not go to Wingstop on a first date. Red Lobster, a buffet. All right, let's go. The gym, church. Who goes to the gym on the first date? I mean, it's not a bad idea, to be honest with you. I mean, to be honest with you, if you were out in the dating world, see, this is, no. Let's switch this up. If you were out in the dating world, to be honest, the gym would not be a bad first date. You know why I say that? Because you could just take her to the gym and y'all can work out and still talk amongst each other, or just, work on y'all stuff, leave the gym. It's actually a good first date. You can see if she's in shape. You can see if he's in shape. It's not a bad date. Now, I might be a gym rat, but I don't know. Church, first date. You probably need to be on the first date because a lot of y'all women need God in your life. You need to figure out, is she a demon? A demon? Yeah, you may need to take her to church on the first date to see if she start itching and breaking out in hives, because you may not want to be with that Jada Pinkett streets. Starbucks is actually not a bad first date. Here we go with the coffee dates again. What? These women don't like coffee dates. What is wrong with these women? What does this say at the bottom? I can't even see. Let's see. Waffle House, sports events. So y'all ain't doing absolutely nothing. What the hell do y'all want to do on the first date then? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I agree. We just go sit in the car and look at each other. It didn't say your car, so it looks like your car is the first date. Yeah, your car is the first date y'all can go on to. See, here we go, man. They really want me to go here today, dog. And I tried to hold myself together. I really did, and I was gonna do right. I was gonna do really well. I wasn't gonna go off on the women. I was gonna give them a little bit of slack, right? And don't y'all cut them no slack. And hey, y'all crazy. Y'all women are crazy. Y'all women today, in today's age that believe this, y'all nuts. If y'all really believe that this is y'all list to not go to on the first date, y'all are delusional. Y'all really believe that people are just supposed to take y'all on 5-star restaurants. Every place that you got to go is top notch. Y'all are nuts. A man can take you wherever he want to take you. Now, I agree that your house thing, yeah, you shouldn't want to go to his house on the first date. But the truth of the matter is, there's a lot of women doing first date at the houses because they are on, Tinder, Bumble, and all those other things. So that's your choice if you decide to do that. But most men are willing to take you to a decent restaurant. And not everybody has, Ruth Chris type money. And obviously that's where they want to go. They want to go to Ruth Chris. And the back seats lay down in the Jeep, turned into a queen size bed. Yeah, at this point, the car is the first date. Shoot, and depending on what type of car you got, you may not be able to have a car on the first date. These women are so picky, man. They will pick themselves out of a good situation and go into a bad situation. I don't understand. If these aren't places that y'all want to go to on the first date, obviously I can understand Denny's. Denny's is not really a great first restaurant. But at the same time, if he can afford Denny's only and you can't afford then you need to go wherever he says go, because you can't afford to go nowhere anyway. What's wrong, man? I don't understand why women want to be this picky and this entitled to what a man wants to do for you. And we're talking about the first date. The first date. We haven't talked about the first year. We ain't even talked about the first year in marriage. Y'all talking about first dates. So y'all telling me y'all can't even get past the first date when it comes to things now? Y'all can't even get to the relationship because y'all so stuck on the first date. How do y'all expect to even be in a marriage for any length of time if y'all can't even get over the simple stuff? Listen, if the man wants to take you to Buffalo Wild Wings is a bar and grill. It's not a bad place to go. Okay? What else we got on there? Red Lobster. If you want to take you to Red Lobster, they also got a bar. It's a nice spot. Olive Garden? What? You can't go to Olive Garden for your first dinner? Olive Garden is a good restaurant. I don't understand, man. Let's see what my man B-Mac said. He said, if they go be picky, then they can pay. Yeah. What? We should start getting to the point where it's like, listen, if you're gonna be picky, if I throw out 2 suggestions and you don't want to do it, fine. The new rule is if I throw out 2 suggestions and you don't want to go there because it doesn't fit your first date criteria, you pay. You pay. And then when I go on your tab, I'm going to order the most ridiculous thing that they got on the menu, boy. Ooh, is that a tomahawk steak? Ooh, I got to pay extra for the sides and the mashed potatoes. Yeah, give me 2 of them. Yeah. You know what, babe? I really like this restaurant for our first date, and run her tab up.
Sensational.
Since you want to be picky on the first date. And you better cut my steak. You better cut my steak. The hell is wrong with these people, man? It's just, I don't know, man. The standards for today, they're so high, but the quality of women is so low. The quality of women is so low. They got these high standards, but low quality women. Right? Can y'all even be mothers? When I say be mothers, I mean, can y'all do things with y'all children? Can you be like a mother and nurture them? And can you be a wife? Like, can you be faithful? Can you cook a little bit? Do you like to have a clean house? Do you know how to do any kind of laundry? Basic skills, right? How about this? Do you know how to make your man feel good? No? Yes? What? Oh, you're not entitled to do that because you're a woman and you just need to be secured and all these things, right? Kind of crazy mess is this, bro? Like, y'all low quality. And I'm talking to not all the women. I'm not talking to all y'all because some of y'all are great. But the majority of these women are low quality. Can't offer you nothing, but they go tell you they got a degree and they can make a whole lot of money and I don't need your money. And okay, if you don't need my money, then do this by yourself because I don't need you either. I can go find somebody else. More feminine. What? More fit and more friendly. You know what I'm saying? Right. The 48 Oysters girl. She went on that date talking about I was bored. He been calling me. So he basically been talking to himself. So I went on this date since he was bothering me. So I just went because I was bored. So y'all just go on dates because y'all bored? Low quality women. I think that's a new term I'm going to start using, man. Low quality women. You know, they got high value men, but then you got low quality women. And this would be an example of a low quality woman who has all these no-nos as far as going on a date, right? Cheesecake Factory girl is a no-no. She's a low quality woman. The 48 Oysters girl is an extremely low quality woman. What? Right? The Brick Lady is an extremely low quality. We're just going to start calling them what they are, low quality, right? They got low quality meat, and then they got good quality meat, right? They low quality, right? That's your Walmart cut meat, all right? So there's your no-nos, right? What else? Let's get into the main topic of the show. Main topic of the show. Tyrese. Let's go to this one. Main topic of the show, man. And I'm going to get out of here because we got to talk about Tyrese, man. We mentioned Tyrese when he was on the Breakfast Club. And so when he was on the Breakfast Club, he talked about this divorce and how bad it was. And old girl, Samantha Lee, gets $20,000 a month in child support. All right. She also got her lawyers paid, which from what Tyrese is saying is close to the millions, right? Or in the million. He had to pay for his lawyer fees. And now she's speaking out and she's trying to say, you know what? Let her say it. She's trying to say that she would have made a different decision. So let's get to it. And let's hear from her own mouth what she said about her decision.
I don't know what would have happened. Oh, I've never said this publicly.
Hold on, let me.
No, that's what we do.
This is initiated exclusive, baby.
Delano, make sure you zoom in on this one. Okay?
It gets no, actually, no. I want to deny myself. I want to deniability. Yeah, no, the truth about the matter is that if I had different people in my ear at that time, I would not have made that decision. No.
Wow.
I wouldn't. And that's the truth. I try my very best at this point in my life to be what I didn't have in that moment. Because I think that women were like, I'm an extremely emotional person. People that know me know that about me. I'm the kind of person that like, okay, I feel so strong, and I can ruminate. I can get so lost in my thoughts. I know a lot of women are like that. Like we're a lot, not all of us, right? But some of us
looks,
are.
Man.
Just like a lot of men can be like that. But I know women specifically, there will be moments where they'll be like, I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done. I can't stand this. He don't do this. He don't do that. Blah, 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 blah. And we're just focusing on these things. And because you don't have a certain person in your life to check you and say, sis, what about this? What about this? What about these strengths? What about what he's not doing? What, like those types of things? That can get you thinking about the positive aspects of this person that you may not be thinking about when you're upset. You're only thinking about what you're mad about. You're not thinking about all the other positive aspects of this person. And so in those moments, you need somebody to be the person for that person.
Yeah.
This is Cap. All right. I want y'all to, this is straight Cap, right? And we about to get to the real meat and potatoes of this whole thing, right? Oh, this whole thing messed me up. Anyways, let's get to here, right? Because that's where we need to go anyway. We gonna go to Mr. Tyrese and what he said about this whole thing. So Tyrese responds, and he tells y'all the truth because I call Cap. So let's go ahead and get to what Mr. Tyrese said. We got to get to the full thing, and then we'll put it in perspective how we do here on the Cold Summer Podcast. Let's go.
Hold on. Look, man, I was not going to respond to this video of my ex that's now gone viral. She is loving it. Congratulations, you went viral again over something else that you said because you're trying to build up your YouTube page and get your followers up. Listen, man, listen. If you had people in your ear that influenced you into leaving your husband and your 1-year-old child, your innocent 1-year-old child, we both were divorcee kids, grew up in toxic environments, torn in between our old family, new family, stepfather, stepmother. That's a life that we both lived. And you packed up a 1-year-old, put a COVID mask on top of the Ring cameras, and I was literally in an airplane on my way home to fight for my marriage and my family. You're heartless. None of your friends recognize you. This is all about money. If you had friends in your ear, you're lying, you're gaslighting, you're playing. The only person that was in your ear was your mama. Her name is Patricia Randolph. You didn't have people in your ear.
Not the mama.
The amount of people that was supposedly in your ear, you also had a whole lot of people like Aventer Gray, Taffy Dollar, Creflo Dollar's wife, who married us. What? You had a whole lot of people in your ear telling you that you're about to do something stupid, impulsive, and y'all are actually not going through anything that would make you want to leave your husband. Let's go even further. when Aventer Gray and Pastor John Gray were having their own marital issues at the time, you arranged a therapy session with Aventer Gray at our house. What? And when she walked out of her therapy session, she walked into the foyer where the Bumblebee is, and there was 50 boxes with like 7 or 8 people there packing up all to leave the house. And I was in an airplane on my way home to try and fight and save our marriage.
Tyrese putting it out there.
So if you had people in your ear at the time, they must be still in your ear, because you're still trying to get $20,000 a month for a 5-year-old. You make $160,000 a year on your own.
Good money.
This is all a game. You're clout chasing. You're something that I don't even know. A simple woman, not into materialistic things, don't care about fame and mansions and popularity. You're everything that you told me and all of your friends and loved ones that you wasn't. If you wanted to be famous, boo-boo, that's all you had to say. You didn't have to play this game that you wasn't. Now you out here playing on single mothers and their emotions, playing on women that are actually in abusive relationships and marriages that are toxic and dark and dysfunctional. That's not what that was. You think I would have a song entitled "I Don't Think You Ever Loved Me" if I didn't really feel that way? You think I would have a song out called "Love Transaction"?
All right, Tyrese.
If I didn't realize that it was never love, it was just a transaction? This shit is money.
All right, I'm about to say Tyrese about to go down this path. All right, so now y'all heard both sides of what happened. And guess what? That's why I made a video about this on my YouTube, so check it out. That's why I called cap on her when she first made this video before Tyrese said anything. Because I'm like, I don't think she would have made the right decision even if there were the right people in her ear. And what Tyrese is saying, because you know Tyrese go drop the receipt. What? Tyrese go drop every receipt that needs to be dropped. Because, you know, I don't know, man. Something about him, man. He seemed petty. But like he said, she taking $20,000 a month from me. Legal fees, everything else. If she really regretted any of that, she would stop all that stuff right now. She's not going to stop $20,000 a month coming in. He said she's making $160,000. That's decent, not decent money. That's good money. So she's already making pretty good money doing whatever she's doing. And on top of that, $20,000 a month for a 5-year-old. Ain't no way I can even spend $20,000 on my Zoe and my Chloe, and I got 2 kids. $20,000 a month? Bro, that's insane. Right? And I call cap. I think she BSing. Right? I don't think for 1 second that she being genuine. Not for 1 second. I think she on a podcast, she's saying what she think, what she feels, and she's just saying, I'm just gonna blurt this shit out. And she just blurted out what sounded right to her. But she will not stop child support and all that other stuff that's coming her way. Because it benefits her. It benefits her. So we just seen Tyrese do that, right? Roro says she might really miss him. You know what? I doubt it. I doubt it. If she miss him, she make it right. But he already moved on. Shout out to Tyrese. But she might miss some things about him that she could benefit from. Absolutely. Absolutely. She probably misses the things that she probably could benefit from him than she's getting from other men. I just believe that she's a liar. I believe that she's a liar, right? He cheated. That's what she says, because that's not what he says, and that's not what's been told. Right? Alimony was not given to her, right? From what I've been told. If there's no alimony, he ain't cheat. See, it's not always cheating that causes people to get divorced, right? In her particular circumstance, it was the fact that she felt that she can live this life that she wanted without him and just keep moving on to the next guy that's going to pick her up. That's how it's going to go. All right? That's how it's going to go. This woman is sitting on these platforms. She lying to y'all. I'm just going to call it. It's the unpopular opinion. She's lying. she wouldn't have made a different decision. She was stuck on what she wanted to do and how she wanted to do it, and she did it. And if somebody would have said, well, listen, you know, Tyrese, because come on now, what do you really need to be reminded about Tyrese? He makes a lot of money. He's a superstar when it comes to movies. Well, maybe not movies, but he's a superstar when it comes to the music. He's an actor, okay? He's a high-value person, right? He's got status. What do you need to be reminded about Tyrese? What? All right? And if he ain't hitting on you, what do you need to be reminded about how good of a guy he could be to you? You don't. You made that decision because you were very strong on what you believed in. And you're like, I'm going to divorce him anyway for whatever reason it may be. And I'm sure it was because of benefits, right? We live in a divorce reward society where women think, I'm going to divorce him. I'm going to live this life without him. And they end up, a big part of them, start regretting how lonely their life is when life goes on. As they get older and they have kids, when they get older, they start to regret, oh man, maybe I should have stayed with them because they didn't do the math. And they left early in year number 5. So they left in first quarter instead of understanding that it's a whole nother 3 quarters to play in the game. So instead now they with Mr. Brad, but Brad don't really care for you. And Brad's like 10 years older and you thought you were going to be happy and you're not. You're not. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy that, you know, that she thinks this way. So this is Tyrese responding to Samantha Lee. And I think he put it in perspective really well. I think he just told y'all flat out, this girl is up here lying. He's been with her, so he know how she is. So we don't know Samantha Lee. So we just looking at her like, oh, yeah, you know, maybe she really misses him and maybe she really would have made the right decision. But he's like, listen, you did it again. You're going viral. This is what you want. She's got a platform, right? She's doing interviews. She's only doing this off the backs of who? What? Tyrese. Why do we even know about Samantha Lee? For Tyrese. She will be on the back burner by the end of next week. Nobody will even know who she is. But we'll still know who Tyrese is. Another example of a woman we don't care about because she's associated to a great man that we like. Right? We like his music, we like his movies, or whatever his product, whatever it may be. We only know of them because they're attached to a great man. We do not know of these women because they are just talented. Like, this is not how a lot of these women are coming out. Jada Pinkett Streets, we don't care about her. She's not talented. We just know her because she's attached to Will Smith. Same thing with Samantha Lee. She's attached to Tyrese. They'll be gone in a week. So here's the question that we bring up. Right? Y'all ready? Is divorce really everything it's cracked up to be? All right? Is it all what it's cracked up to be? Because I really, really believe that a big part of these divorces that are happening in today's society is because people are not staying around long enough. They say it's about 5 to 7 years, usually after a kid or two. And then you look at somebody who's been married for 30 years, right? It's almost like people are giving up in the first quarter of the game. There's a whole game to play. They're giving up in the first quarter because they say it's just a little bit hard. I don't want to go through this or whatever may have happened, right? Even if he cheated, right? Because that's always the woman's first go-to. And let's say, could he change, right? He can get better. He can make mistakes or whatever. You make mistakes as well, women. But why give up in the first quarter? And then you get to your fourth quarter, and then you're older, and then these men don't really want you. You're just having a bunch of boyfriends. Meanwhile, your man can go and move and get married again if he wanted to, which I wouldn't highly recommend to get married a second time if you got burnt the first time. But he might be able to go find somebody, be happy, and live his life. But you the one, women, it seems like the women get it harder. Women get it harder. When they want to divorce and be by themselves, they seem to get it a little bit harder.
Sensational.
Because they got to try to find a man that's willing to take her and her kids and be a good example and all that other stuff and provide. And not to mention if he got to marry you, like, come on, man. People don't like hard work. What? Yeah, I agree. People don't like hard work. People love the benefits of what love can be. Hey, let's get married. Hey, let me get a ring. Hey, let's get a house. Hey, let's get a dog. Hey, let's do this. They love all the benefits that come with the relationship. But when the real wave comes, it only lasts for so long. And people are like, okay, that was enough. I don't want to go through this again. Not understanding there are different phases in life, right? And this phase right here, when you're in year 5 and year 7, may be a very, very rough time. But by the time you get to year number 10, it may be phenomenal. And year 20 may be even better. One guy told me when I was in a sauna, married for 50 years, the guy told me, and he was sitting right next to me, and he said, one thing I'll tell you when it comes to marriage is with the right person, it gets better with time. And I said, that's a different perspective that I finally haven't heard. With the right person, it gets better with time. And they had like 3 or 4 children. They were close to their 80s, right? I think she might have been 80. The dude might have been 80. But they were married for 50 years. And she also said, I never left, no matter how hard it got. Isn't that interesting? The two perspectives were, one, I didn't leave when it got tough. And the second one was, hey, with the right person, it gets better with time. And I agree, right? So Roro says, she says, and social media sells a fake narrative of marriage or what it should look like so people compare and complain about what they have. Oh, man, this right here is its own segment. I think that social media is a big contributor in divorces today. I really, really do, because back in the day, before all of this, I mean, you had your examples as far as what a marriage looked like. Yes, okay, we know it was a different time, but they didn't go and go on social media to see what their other couples were doing. They were too busy focused on them and one being a housewife and too busy on just taking care of the family. They had different priorities. They were too focused on themselves compared to focus on other people, seeing what Tom and Tamika are doing and how they're on in Cabo, but they don't have a kid yet, but they're living their life. And like, oh, how come we can't be like Tom and Tamika? Right? There are people like right now that do that with my wife, that will say things like, yeah, you and Jay, I like this and that about you guys. And I'm like, yo, I don't understand why they think that we're some different couple. We're just trying to figure it out like everybody else. But don't look at us and be like, I want to be like them. Hell no. Don't do that. Right? Because there's a lot of things that we got to work on that I'm not going to say we out here being perfect. And not at all. And I don't appear and want to be perfect. And just because another couple's been married for 30-some years, I can't do the same thing they've been doing. Right? What my mom and dad have done, I can't do the same thing they did with us. So social media has made it really, really bad for most people because they think that that's how it's supposed to be. And it's a false reality of what life really is. Life is not like that, man. Y'all got to put the phones down. Like Erykah Badu said, you got to put your phone down. Doom, doom, doom. I can make you put your phone down. I'm telling you, put your phone down. Don't compare yourself to each other and just love each other, man. And focus on the little things y'all got going on. Stay off social media. If you, for real, like honestly, the only reason why I'm on social media today is because one, it's a business opportunity because now, I'm on YouTube, I'm shooting videos. I use it for real estate. And I use even my Facebook. Like I don't even use my Facebook for personal no more. I don't use any of my social media platforms for personal anymore. No. So I stay off that thing. And my wife may even tell me like, I just sent you this and sent you that. Like I don't be on social media too long. Like I might scroll through that thing for like 30, 45 seconds and I'm off that thing. I don't spend too much time on there because it's toxic. And it's automatically going to get your mind going. When somebody is doing something, you're like, man, I would love to do that. It just happens automatically when it comes to social media. So try to stay off that thing and don't bring that into your relationship. Do not bring that into your relationship. I just made a video. Go look at it. It's called, for Lala was talking about, should you post your spouse more? And we talked about this before. But I'm like, no, I don't want to. I don't need to. I don't need social media to validate my relationship. All right. All right. So that's it right there, man. That is all of that. That is all of that. All right. So that was a nice little quick live stream. I was able to go ahead and fit in there. I do appreciate y'all hitting the like button on the way inside. Right now, man, I'll tell y'all where we going as a channel. I did shoot my first official coffee talk. So me and B2L Productions will be releasing that. I'm sure it'll probably be sometime this week. I don't want to give them a time crunch, but we did something on Sunday, so that video will be coming out. Planning on doing that at least once a week. Those are going to be my high production videos, so it's going to be very, very nice. It's more like a recap of the week. I'm planning on doing something special in November. I would like to do something like a coffee talk with like a round table, some big topics, kind of like what we do here, but letting other people give their perspective on what's going on, in today's world. But working on that, man. I got to get some time to sit down and figure that out. Almost about to reach step 2 of the monetization. So I can show y'all this real quick. But yeah, looking to reach step 2 of the monetization, where I can get 4,000 watch hours, finally get paid from YouTube. And that, my friends, will be absolutely dope. Let me see if I can get a live count. I can see a live count right there. And then I will share this real quick. Yep. So we're at 1,223 subscribers, man. So we are all there. And if I'm looking at this chart, we are on an upward trend, heading to 2,000 subscribers. So that would be big. 2,000 subscribers is huge. My next big goal is 5,000, right? My next big goal is 5,000. And when I get to 10,000, I'm going to celebrate like a mug, because 100,000 subscribers, here I come. But that's where we are today. 1223. That's in the last 28 days. So the channel is finally lifting off, which I'm super, super excited about. So I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Yeah. Appreciate y'all jumping on. I'm about to go ahead and do my outro and get up out of here. Y'all ready? Yes, sir.
Audio Jungle.
Today's message is growth, man. Today's message is growth. Growth is important. All right. Growth is important, right? Life is all about growth. You got to be able to find ways to improve at all times, right? You gotta grow as a person, right? You're not the same person you were when you were 12, when you were 16, when you became 26. You grew, right? You grew with your height. You grew with your mentality. You know what I'm saying? You grew in your habits. So everything in your life must be growth, right? Everything around you must be growth. And you can purposely grow if you do it the right way, right? You might have to eliminate some things that you don't like, but you can purposefully grow if you focus on it. But the most important question to ask yourself is, what I'm doing today helping me grow for tomorrow? And if it is helping you grow for tomorrow, even a little bit, you do it. You do it. Because see, the thing about dominoes is that it's one by one by one by one. And then when you let the domino go down, it's a long journey and a long fall. But it's one stone at a time. Right? One stone at a time. Focus on growth and always find a way to find out if I'm friends with this person, will I grow? If I end up being with her, will I grow? If I get this job, will I grow? All right? If I decide to have this child with this person, will I grow? And if any of those answers are no, you don't do it. You don't do it. And that's how you purposefully set up growth. because you're doing things that you know or believe that it will set you up. So you're saying no to the things that won't be beneficial to you and help you be the best version of yourself. You purposefully do that. So that's what I say. Make sure you ask yourself, is it going to help me grow? All right. That's it for me. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy the rest of my night. And like I say, after every video, that this is chess, not checkers. And I'm going to see y'all.
It's gonna be a cold summer.